I want revenge, but I gotta watch over your 10. Plus I got two myself, can't raise them from inside of a pen. I miss pulling up, seeing you grin. Even in disagreements, always prayed on seeing you win. One of the worst days.
Alright, y'all. Today we gonna do this story on my man Keeven Hale, aka K-WIZ. K-WIZ was from the projects, Riverside to be exact. And I met K-WIZ in Gander. We was both doing our little bid. I think he had 3 years, I had 4 years. And we met in the Key program. And as we was doing our bid, we would do our little push-ups and play cards and stuff like that. Keeven was he would always crack jokes and laugh a lot. Like he was quick to crack jokes and laugh. You know what I mean? And he was like, a funny guy, man. He was a cool nigga. And then his brother wound up coming into the Key. So now he's literally in the Key program, locked up with his brother. And that's when I met his brother, Harry. And I didn't know Harry as well as I knew Wiz. But speeded up the date, we come home. I come home in 2012. I think he might have got out a little bit before me. But so we see each other around in the neighborhood. I'm not too far from him, he's not too far from me. And he ended up getting into some type of a beef situation. I don't know how the beef started. I don't know what it started from. But I remember the last day I seen him, the last time I talked to him was actually over East Side, on my original side of town. So when I saw him, I was surprised to see him in the corner store in Bill's or 10th and Pond. And so I gave him that. And I was with another brother from the project that Wiz knew. They was actually neighbors growing up. And he was like, yeah, a motherfucker shot me. And I'm like, damn, who shot you, dog? Like, cause I had never known him to be in no type of drama with nobody. You know what I mean? I always figured Wiz was a cool dude. And he told me he was just like a nigga try to rob him. You feel me? Something like that. So, and next thing you know, I'm talking to people over East Side, and I hear he got into what he got into. The situation turned out the way it did, and my boy died, and it hurt me, you know what I mean? I shed a tear right there. I got the news when I was on Pine Street over East Side, and I got the news and I cried, man. Like, that was my boy, man. Rest in peace to Keeven. Keeven died from shotgun wounds, but a shotgun was never uncovered. February 23rd, 2017 at about 7:45 p.m., a man in dark clothing walked up 23rd Street to a store at the intersection with Pine Street, north side, y'all, and purchased some cigarettes. He was wearing dark pants, a black North Face jacket, and what appeared to be a ski mask rolled up on his forehead. When he left the store, he headed back home. However, he stopped and briefly interacted with a man who had just driven up in his car. The man then continued on and went inside his house. Shortly thereafter, the man left his house, crossed the street, and headed back toward the corner store. He was dressed the same as he was previously. However, this time his ski mask was down and the hoodie was popped up over his head. Once he made it to the 600 block, he was no longer in the view of surveillance cameras. Just seconds later, various 911 calls and shot spotter alarms alerted police to shots fired in the area. The man in dark clothing that had bought the pack of cigarettes, he had been shot in the back and fell to the ground on the sidewalk in front of Keeven and Hale's neighbor's residence, where he remained until police arrived. 911 caller reported that at about the time she heard shots being fired, she saw a car drive up Hale's block and turn the corner. Surveillance video confirmed that within seconds of the shots being fired, being picked up by a shot spotter, 2 cars drove up the block where Hale's house was located. When Detective Keeven of Wilmington Police Department arrived at the scene, he found the man in dark clothing lying on the sidewalk where he had fallen, identifying him as the shooting victim. Keeven attempted to provide medical assistance, but the man resisted. An unidentified man wearing bright green yellowish vest arrived, tried to interfere with Keeven's assistance. Significantly, the unknown man instructed the man on the ground to not answer any questions. Yo, don't tell him anything. Don't tell the cops shit, is what the man said. The crowd began to gather. Then it says, Keeven lived at, I'm not going to disclose where he lived at, but Keeven lived on 23rd Street, not too far from the church. And his mother, alright, so it says, earlier in the day of the shooting, Hale was unable to get up on time for work because he had been drinking the night before. He arrived home that evening shortly after some other family members had come to visit. Hale was hanging out on the front porch talking to his next door neighbor. And his mother was in her room upstairs. She went downstairs, however, when she smelled something burning. She found that Hale left his dinner on the stove unattended. So she went to the front porch, told Hale, who was drinking beer and still talking to his neighbor, that his dinner was ready. She then went back upstairs to watch television. She told the jury that after she returned upstairs, she heard a total of 6 gunshots, which prompted her to run back down. As she was going downstairs, she saw Hale with gunshot wounds fall through the front door into the living room. Her grandson guided him toward the fireplace as she ran to him. She claimed that as Hale was falling, he said, "That pussy got me. I'm dying." And Hale's sister claimed that he actually used the plural, pussies. So like, he said, them pussies got me and I'm dying. Shortly thereafter, his sister ran outside screaming, "They killed my brother." And his mother called 911 and exclaimed, "Those motherfuckers killed my son." Sheila, his sister knew he carried it. His mother knew he carried a gun when she went to the front porch to retrieve Hale's .40 caliber Smith & Wesson semi-automatic handgun. As she brought the gun into the house, her daughter snatched it from her and hid it under the arm of the couch because she thought her brother had done something wrong. Where is it? It says, it says, however, as the police continued to grill her, she finally admitted to detectives to the deceptive conduct. Not only did police find Hale semi-automatic, they found 4 spent cartridges outside that were all fired from the same gun and were consistent with the ammunition in the magazine found in Hale's Columbia jacket in the house. However, no gun was found on the man that was shot and laying outside. In fact, no gun responsible for Hale's death was ever found. According to a medical examiner, Hale died from shotgun wounds to the torso and upper extremity, with gunshot residue, while gunshot residue was collected from both Hale and the other man. Well, long story short, man, my boy shot him. So the guy comes up with a shotgun, shoots my man while he's on the porch, shoots him in like the stomach and chest area. And as Wiz is falling back, Wiz backs his 40 out because he already knew he had beef. So he backed his 40 out and shot back 4 shots. So they heard it. The report had about 5 shots fired, 5 or 6 shots fired. And I know for a fact that as Wiz was dying out, before he died, he squeezed all 4 and hit the guy, and then the guy fell and got paralyzed. And you know what I mean? And it's a shame on both ends what happened. You know, it's a shame what happened. I don't even know what it was over or what it was about. You know, but it feels like senseless violence. It feels like something that could have possibly been avoided on both ends. So, you know, I'm gonna just say peace. Rest in peace, Keeven.
Police say a 38-year-old man injured in a shooting Thursday night has died from his injuries. The city's ShotSpotter technology alerted police to the gunfire at about 8 o'clock in the 600 block of East 23rd Street. Police found the victim inside a home. He was shot in his upper torso. Paramedics rushed him to Christiana Hospital where he died from his injuries. A second person, a 21-year-old man, was also shot in the back. He's in critical but stable condition. The violence now makes 11 people killed in the city by gunfire so far this year. For Delaware Online, I'm Damian Chiletto.
Hey you, what it is, my nigga? Every time I see your kids, I shed a tear, my nigga. Seen the other day, he getting big, my nigga. To not breathe, woo, act just like you. I ain't gonna lie, cause this shit hurt. Seeing the pain in his eyes, that just made this shit worse.